We are live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got any others?
What that booty do?
Life is a highway. I want to ride it all night long.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
What's up, everybody? It's We Are Live. My name's Chris Denman. I'm solo at the talent desk currently. Won't be for long. Travis will join us in a moment. Doyle Murphy from the Riverfront Times in today. Plus, the great Yale Hollander has leaked some very secret, very real news to track. The executive producer and stream queen, Chris Gardner, joins me. Hello, Chris.
Good morning, gentleman.
Some mighty red shirt you got there. I know you are literally colorblind.
Yeah. I knew it was red,
what
though.
you got?
Because the catalog that I ordered it from, oh, boy.
That is not a milk dud floating across the bottom of the screen. See me, did they?
I want you in the other chair today.
He's showered.
Oh,
You look good,
He's
though.
showered. He's
Did
got a
you-
clean head.
Uh-huh.
did the Doyle.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
All right, Chris, keep talking. Pretend I'm not even here.
You don't want the close-up on Doyle? We don't want Doyle's beautiful face?
It's going to... No.
Why do I question you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we are supposed to talk before the show.
Well, it's tough sometimes.
Mm-hmm. When the murder scene hawk gets in the way.
Yeah, we're going to start an almanac of
Hey, it's not my fault.
of reasons Travis
It's not my
doesn't show
fault
up
that you
at 8 a.m.
people decide to shoot at each other before 8 a.m. What am I supposed to do with that? I'm trying to drive in from the county and all this Wild West murder
We need to
violence in
get
the
you.
city.
We need to get you an apartment, like 4 blocks to north.
So put me in the heart of the murder scenes?
He'd be later trying to walk through. That could be an issue. Travis, we've got our friend Doyle Murphy back. He was recently promoted to acting editor at the Riverfront Times, which is a big deal. So we're
Doesn't
excited
have to go
talk
through the
Doyle.
confirmation process. That's good. No
what?
Senate confirmation. That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart.
Gardner, we were just checking out your red shirt. What's on your shirt? What's going
Oh
on?
boy.
I
Yeah.
need an explanation.
It's heather red, apparently. But let's see if I can...
Senator. Is that an Ottawa senator?
What? Okay, Senator. Oh no, Senator Flatbed. Let's debate. Now, can I ask you a question?
Some
Why
Josh Hawley shirts now.
you're poking the bear? Now you went with a governor that was on his way out. That made sense. But this is a person who's going to be in office for at least another 4 years. He won his election by over 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
He is some consider the new young darling of the GOP.
I wouldn't be shocked if he might be a vice president soon. Or at least a candidate on the ticket.
Upcoming election?
Your boy
Yes.
Hawley?
Really? You think old Donald's going to shake up the race by thumping away Mike
Mm-hmm.
and bringing in old Josh, eh?
Senator Flatbed.
I would not put it past him to shake it up in that regard.
I could see that.
I can see a move to that, but I think to counter what is likely to be a woman candidate from the Democratic side,
Mm-hmm.
I believe he may tap young Nikki Haley, who is a darling in the Republican Party.
The one who just criticized him?
Yes.
Okay.
He now has that as an argument. She doesn't always agree with me, but Nikki supports our mission, our movement.
Hold on. I'm closing my eyes trying to picture this.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't bad.
Nikki Haley.
Do you want me to do me doing Kyle Dunnigan doing Trump?
Yes, please.
Oh boy.
Because you end up just doing Kyle Dunnigan's voice.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Wonderful, everybody.
Good God.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Bad.
Changed 3 diapers, dressed 2 kids, made and drank 2 cups of coffee, watched SportsCenter, started laundry, made breakfast, finished a documentary. All of this before Travis texted parking from somewhere on 70. The black sheep taking him to task as we get things moving.
No one. He's in my head. He's in my head now. Like 2 texts in the last 4 days where he's just absolutely obliterated me. He's in my head. I don't know how he's done it. I don't know. Something's happened. Now that I'm back in St. Louis, Black Sheep just knows where to hit me. Like knows my weak spots. Like I don't. What am I gonna do? Maybe I'll bring down his entire political family. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see how much he likes that, huh?
I don't know.
You thought Joaquin Castro was tough while releasing all the donor information from Trump supporters. Imagine what I can do to you, Black Sheep. Imagine.
It's got weird quick. Speaking of weird, huge news leaked to us by friend of the show, Yale Hollander. You familiar with him?
I am familiar with him. He's often on comedy shows around the local area.
He certainly is. He's been on our show a bunch. He produces 2 very cool comedy series, one in Clayton and one in West County.
It's kind of like
Who would have ever thought
that's
of
not
50-year-old?
Let's not say produce.
He's
I think
a producer.
Any flyers at Kinko's
Here
and
we
telling
go.
people where to show up. I wouldn't necessarily
Yeah.
call them a producer.
Do you think he flyers from? You think he goes to Kinko's and flyers?
No, he probably has his own.
Is that how
printer.
you promote a show?
He probably has his own printer at home.
Is that
Yeah, put them on cars, put them in the windshields.
Yeah, okay.
You walk up and down the street. Hey, Missy, want to catch some comedy?
So what's the first step? Well, we got to know where the closest Kinko's is.
Yes,
Mhm,
you
gotta
go to
know
a
that.
business
There
that
are
may or
FedEx
may
Kinko's,
not
too.
still be a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, FedEx Kinko's.
I
yeah.
use the UPS store.
That's because it's right next to your watering hole.
It's literally the people walk in the wrong door
like,
and
"Ah!"
get scared.
Mhm.
And then,
Don't blame them.
ooh, it's one of my favorite things.
It's
Watching their face when they realize this is not where I want to be.
At all.
This is where
Ever.
dreams go to
No,
die.
this is just, oh, God.
What is this group?
It's like the UPS to hell.
deliver me to rehab.
Yes. Well,
Kind of
some
lobby.
have-
Kind of
some
lobby
have
is
tried.
this. Oh,
Some have
Jesus.
tried.
So Yale leaked some official. This is the
Just
word.
say it, man. Just give
No.
it out there. Let's not try to tease it. This is what does Yale have?
Well, he's listening at his office, so behind closed doors, because we tend to
All right, what does he have?
get things.
Okay,
going.
what does he have?
No, how about I wait another?
Yeah,
no,
now we're not
no,
gonna
you
do
can't
that.
be
Okay.
late.
Because
You
you're
can't-
being
don't
like,
care.
You're not
you
gonna-
don't
No,
get to
you're
be
not
late.
late.
You don't get to
and
be
then
late.
tell us how
and
to
then
do
no,
deal
things.
with how to
I'm gonna
tease
do
that.
it. I'm gonna
No,
do it.
you don't get to.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
It's
You
Black,
can,
it's Black
but we
History
won't
Month.
listen
I
to
can
it.
do
It's
it.
not
It's
No,
Black
it's
History
not
Month.
Black
No?
History Month.
It's not?
Oh, yeah. Wonder how Black Twitter would tweet that.
Okay, that's fine.
Treat that.
Sure,
Damn it.
some weak ass.
Tweet that.
Ah,
Yeah.
Nice.
it could still work.
So news broke. The Loop Trolley will be hosting an event. This is from Yale's Instagram, Facebook page, something. I just landed a 3-show deal to run a stand-up showcase on the Loop Trolley. This is not a drill. Stay tuned. That's from his Facebook page. And now the official note, sir. Exclusive details to We Are Live. We got the scoop, Trav.
Oh boy.
Thank you for your work on that.
Scoop boop booba doop.
Laugh Tracks on the Loop Trolley makes its first of at least 3 monthly runs on Friday, September 13th at 9 p.m. on the Loop Trolley. The show will last a full circuit, which is just about an hour. Producer and comedian Yale Hollander hosts the show. Full lineup of comics is coming soon, but longtime Trolley teasers Kenny Kynes and Ken Warner already committed for the first show. 2 more comics will be announced shortly. Additional details should be available later next week. That is it. Congrats to Yale. Congrats to that's a fantastic idea, and quite frankly, I'm mad we didn't come up with it. So I blame Travis.
That's fair.
How excited! This is exciting. I want to go to this. You think Yale comp me?
This is interesting. This is interesting. This could be an absolute mega breakthrough for not only the comedy scene here in St. Louis, but
This is
for the
huge.
Loop Trolley. Absolutely. Or this can be absolutely catastrophic like the Loop Trolley already
Now-
is. I think the fact that it can go either way is why you should go and support.
Question.
There's an element of mystery.
There is an element of mystery.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty and some concern.
How perfect would it be if an accident happened?
I think that's where you
This
can
is my question. If I may, you're a fan of Vincent McMahon.
He is what the kids call a genius.
Vincent Germain McMahon, sorry.
It is.
P.T. Barnum, the
Yes.
like, Donald Trump.
P.
Can that be
Diddy.
thrown into those?
I wouldn't go that far.
You're a fan of the string pullers, right?
I do enjoy the power players.
Do we step up on Yale's behalf? I nominate your car. Stage
A crash?
mid comedy show. You think it? So the press. I've watched it. people that like NPR, Riverfront Times are bugging him right now already. Ooh, what are the details? This is exciting. You imagine if it clipped a car mid-comedy show? That's the sizzle we're looking for, baby.
I could bring two worlds together as well, possibly.
Oh, no.
Oh,
a
boy.
scooter accident.
Oh, boy. I like the way you're thinking now.
Now.
I think this is going to be.
And at first they
That's-
would think it was a middle-aged woman that was struck.
Oh, no, that old lady.
Aunt Crystal?
Oh, Karen, is she okay? Oh, no, it's Gardner. What a plot twist.
Uh-huh.
Aunt Crystal, get over here.
So the Loop Trolley collides with me on a Lime scooter.
Yale Hollander has an opportunity to change the game right here. He has a great opportunity. No pressure on you, Yale.
How many
But
times
the
does the
eyes
game
of
change?
St. Louis, it changes a lot.
How
That's
do,
why
how
it's
do you
game
follow
changers.
this up? How do you follow this up? There's no, you know what? I don't want to say it because he's going to run and call the Visitors Bureau. I'll one-up his ass and do a fucking comedy show on the Arch.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I don't think that'll
You're
be.
so St. Louis, huh?
Oh, boy. I don't
I'll
know
do it
about
in the
that.
Arch.
I don't know
Oh,
about
in the
that.
arch?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said on the arch.
Well, on
I
top
was
would
like,
be
that was
hilarious.
interesting.
So does that mean does myself, Matt Whitener, Javon Bibbs have to do a stand-up show on the Metrolink?
Matt Whitener's literally never done stand-up.
I feel like we could
Why?
do it.
Just because you're black and can say the N-word, and I find that to be 30% funnier than
So
anything
he's
I can
automatically funnier than
He
me.
is.
It's
That's
like
true.
a joke booster.
say.
It's a
It's
joke
the
booster.
boost
It's the
option
boost
on
option.
Facebook,
Yes, it
yeah.
is.
Get that nitrous.
That's what it is. The N word is the. That's what the. What does that N stand for on your car? Just know it gives it a boost. Don't worry about it.
Will the punchlines be several years late? Black sheep. Wow.
Damn it! He's in my head. He's got
this
me.
is
I've
good.
never been cornered by our listeners, and Black Sheep is on one. But no, this is a great idea by Yale. This is pretty damn brilliant.
This is
And
genius.
Yes, and look, it can't. Here's the thing: it can't be worse than the Loop Trolley. So the Loop Trolley has had a catastrophic start, so it cannot be worse than the catastrophic start of the Loop Trolley. So he's got that going for him. Smart play, Yale. Well done.
It's been pretty silent lately, though.
It has been, but now that they haven't had any negative press, now Yale can fly in, and this is going to be great. This is going to get a great run as far as in the media. A lot of people, I would imagine, in radio. Chris just mentioned NPR. Like there are going to be a lot of people who are just curious as to what this looks like. This is a smart play, not only by Yale, but a smart play by
And-
the folks who run the Loop
Yeah, it
Trolley.
makes
I'll
it puts a softer touch on those nasty Facebook comments
Yes.
that they would leave
It does.
as they were like defending themselves like
Yes.
that, like they were 14 on the Facebook comments. Like this is the other side of
This
that.
is how the Loop Trolley now has shown that
Own it.
they have a sense of humor. Literally
Right.
now they have a sense of humor. And again, it's another way to connect with other people in the city. Look, if anyone who loves St. Louis as much as Yale, please point them out. This guy cares about the city, cares about the comedy scene. I think if you were looking for a perfect client or a person to start this movement, Laugh Tracks, by the way, brilliant.
Good name.
Great name. Great name.
Yale's the person to do it. So I'm excited. Yes, please, Yale, let us know the details so we can make that happen. Look, how can you think about like going on Loop Trolley on a date and they're doing comedy? Like that's just brilliant. Then you just get dropped off somewhere, maybe go stop by Salt and Smoke in the middle of the loop when you're done listening to the comedy. Like that's pretty cool. Now the only thing that I hate is that the weather's going to get cooler here in a couple months, so I don't know how active the Loop Trolley will be.
It'll still be going.
Still be going.
Yeah.
Still
It's
okay.
more,
I just always fear the St. Louis weather, but yeah,
More room for intrigue and problems.
true.
But it's not I've been on it. It's not bad.
How long is the trip back and forth? So about 40 minutes.
Ooh, I don't know back and forth because I didn't stay on. I didn't ride it there and then back right away.
Right.
I rode it into the loop, got out, went thrift store shopping, then grabbed lunch, and then got it on the way back. So
That's
you need to ride it this weekend.
From Yale says National Park Service said no to comedy on the Arch, and now we know why he denies its existence.
So we won't be
Yale
doing
denies that the Arch exists. So.
I think also this is a challenge for comedians because if you bomb, at a bar or at a club, you bomb, you get on stage, you do your
Walk out.
stuff, 5 minutes, you get in your car, go home. If you bomb on a trolley, you're stuck on the trolley with the people. You have to. Excuse me, I'm sorry about my set, but do you mind if you scoot over a little bit? I got
Eddie Murphy was talking about that.
Now, there
Whenever
are a
he
few-
bombed at one of his first times or something, one of his first paid gigs.
Uh-huh.
He was talking about he had to go sit next to people that he just bombed in front of in the club, and he said it was horrible.
Yeah,
and then the promoter wouldn't pay him.
So that's the fun part about it as well, because as we all
There are some stops along
yes.
the way. So.
Okay, all right. Now that's even worse, right? Like somebody's like, man, this sucks so much ass.
It goes
I'm
History
willing to-
Museum is where I caught it.
Right.
I
That's
think
generally where it
there's a
starts.
stop at Hamilton.
I think so.
I think there's another, and I think there's two to four more stops after that.
Does Yale understand how hood the journey gets before you get to the History Museum? It kind of a few bros.
But it's not too bad.
Okay,
I mean, it's urban.
that's true. Very.
Watch it.
Now I want to go, and that's the added intrigue. What if you go try to catch a show, someone bombs? That in itself is entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they're stuck on the train for the next 20 minutes. They can't go anywhere. I'm not going to lie. I sort of want to. Can I get on the wait list, Yale? I want to do a set on this trolley.
We'll have to have Yale in before the show to promote it and do another target practice with the Loop Trolley.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I want to do this because I think even the
I don't
idea
know. I mean,
of bombing.
I would think people are going to be clamoring to get on this.
I would as well. If I'm Rafe, I'm Mr. Wharton, I'm Bobby Jaycox. Hey, I'm jumping on this bad boy. This seems like a lot of fun and very unique to St. Louis. I don't think there's any other city. I don't think San Francisco's doing that with their trolley. Ha!
That's right.
Yeah, other cities aren't doing it because they're doing high-speed mass transit.
Yeah,
We've gone back in time.
That's right.
Let's
Your Hyperloop can't have comedy.
Yeah, let's see you do comedy on a Hyperloop.
Yeah, the idea for the Hyperloop in Missouri, was it 26 minutes from Kansas City to St. Louis?
Yeah.
The Loop Trolley would take longer to get from the History Museum to the end of the loop.
Yeah, very
That would
true.
be cool to be able to, yeah.
Hey, Elon, you doing any comedy shows in those giant holes you're drilling in California? Didn't think so, pussy.
Take that.
I hope this starts a new trend. Now I hope Uber drivers starts doing stand-ups while they drive folks around. I hope bus drivers start doing it. I hope the folks at the Metrolink jump aboard this.
Wait, a comedian that drives a bus?
I'm glad you brought that up, Chris. It's almost like it's a mad bus driver. You can catch the mad bus driver and Travis Terrell in Seattle, August 31st. For details, go to Friends of WAL.
Great, what? Maybe like the club's website or
amazing.
madbusdriver.com.
It's amazing how you've never, ever got a website right, ever.
It's a weird thing.
The Facebook /.comedy.
Yale letting us know those hoods were Jewish first.
Well.
That's right. Oh, wait. So is he saying, like, we got out of there?
What's great is, and also like the trolley goes by the Church of Scientology.
Oh, doctor.
Well, it doesn't go directly by it.
Okay.
Because that's right at the edge there.
Okay.
But the last stop is right near there.
And the best part is that there are not often, I won't say often, but there are times where there is, unfortunately, crime in the loop. How great would it be in the middle of a set, you see someone getting robbed? That's great material.
Let's see your crowd work, pal.
Yeah.
Work out of that routine a little. You got a gun in your
Hey, Robert,
side.
yes, and.
Oh, my goodness.
So congratulations to Yale. Well
That's
done.
a big deal. I'm so excited. And legitimately, I think this will be a massive success. So book it right and book it well, Yale. Good luck, sir. It's
That will be
exciting.
fun. Maybe I should set up like a couple barbecue grill spots along the path, so when people get hungry, because people are going to get hungry during
It's
comedy.
like coming out of a strip club.
Yeah, maybe we can do a 2-drink minimum. Maybe we can do a kiosk along the stops where people can get drinks while listening to comedy. Just a thought. Alcoholic Capri Suns. Can we make that happen?
I guess the question would be, will it start at
almost like
the
we should
History
interview 'em.
Museum or start in the Loop?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can decide then, hey, maybe we can get a license to do some like vendor stuff.
That would be dope. Chris,
Sell
you're
some
white.
hot
You have
takes.
emails. Make it happen.
Oh, thank you.
I can sell T-shirts, mixtapes.
Oh, what was your T-shirt?
What
that
would
you
your
would
t-shirt?
sell?
Well,
Would it
I
have
have
What would
Senator
it be?
Flatbed, which will go on sale soon.
Oh boy.
We have Carte Blanche. We have Chesterfield County. We have, what else do we have? Well, we're working on a couple other designs right now. River to Pear Scooter Club,
Oh, boy.
Barricane.
God help us.
So there's a lot in the works. So I might set up like a T-shirt stand outside this, wherever they start and stop, and then we could just grill there. I got I know it's not a charcoal grill, but I got a gas grill that's portable.
Right.
That's designed to be portable.
Right.
You just pull up the gas grill, hot dogs, burgers. It would be just like Forest Park.
I like this idea.
A little more white, probably, but
very.
it's similar. So let's ride Yale's tailcoats.
I like this.
Follow his trolley tracks.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's try and help ourselves out too, since he's got this great idea that seems to be coming about. Now the question is, how do we help ourselves?
Easily. I just thought about it. We can do a drive-by heckling service. So we can be behind the trolley while we can boo.
We will jeer.
We will jeer from our car, and we'll have a megaphone. So when it comes back, eat shit, Yale!
Yeah.
Perfect. Term of endearment.
And he will know that we are there and that we are there to support.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Huge shout out to Yale. Shout out to Loop Trolley. We do need to shout out Rich Braun, local comedian.
Ryan Braun's brother.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
He said, with Yale's latest endeavor, Yale shall now be known as Jew Edwards instead of Joe Edwards.
Oh, I see what he did.
Joe Edwards creates things in the loop. Yale Hollander puts a different yarmulke spin on it.
I will not.
Perfect.
I will not participate in that
Oh,
laughter.
so
I
funny.
laughed yesterday.
Oh, so good.
I saw it in the
Snorting
office.
Oh, so funny.
I just want to know for everybody for the record, those who are listening and maybe not seeing the visual, I am not laughing nor smiling.
The word Jew is not negative.
No, I'm still not going to risk it.
All right.
I'd rather not.
My sister-in-law is Jewish. I can say anything about it.
I don't think that's how it works.
how it- I-
Almost certainly that's not how it
Yeah,
works.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a mistake on your end. but-
Do you? Do you, player?
No, apparently not.
Oh my goodness. So yes, so very happy for Yale. And are you going to try and go to the show when it happens?
Yeah. I mean, is Yale going to be performing?
He's going to be the host.
Let me know when Kenny's on. I'll jump on that one.
He can never enjoy anyone who's not black's success.
No, I think. Look, first off,
Did I just hit that out of the park?
I didn't realize.
I
love
what I've realized about Travis is he's not really woke. He's just got one eye open.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I kind of want to go back to sleep, but I don't trust anybody, so I'm going to have one eye open.
Jamie Moyers 54 says he put the dreidel spin on it.
Now that's good.
Perfect.
Now that's good.
Oh, you can laugh at the
like
other
that
one
one.
too.
I don't know. It's risky. Not in this day and age. Everything's very risky.
I
these
understand that. That's why I text
Very
you and
risky.
ask you, hey, can I like this tweet that has the N-word?
days. You and
in it?
Schaefer are the only two people who've ever done that, and I find that to be
Really
incredibly
funny.
hilarious.
Oh, I just want to. Hey,
No, you guys are responsible Twitter
Yeah.
users. You are. You
I don't
guys.
need no trouble. I'm
you
not trying to
don't.
piss anyone off.
I
thought
completely
something was
understand
funny.
that. I think you're right. I think it's important to have a conscience when you're on social media.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't want to feel bad.
You shouldn't. Twitter's fun.
That's actually what it's more about than anything is I just don't want to feel bad. It's not necessarily maybe about others. Maybe it is about me.
It is.
Maybe it's a combination.
For me, I've come to the point that a lot of men in general specifically, but just people in general, we do shitty things and we don't acknowledge ourselves doing shitty things. So I think it's important that if someone says, "Hey, it's kind of a shitty thing," you should probably stop and pause and think about it. So I appreciate what you and Schaefer do. I'm glad you guys stop and think like, "Hey, I find this amusing," but at the same time, I'm not trying to sit up here and hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
all
like
it is.
this, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's how you're supposed to behave in polite society. You can ask a question or two. It's important to listen, and I'm glad you guys take the time to do that.
Yeah, instead of, why can't I say this
Yeah,
word?
that generally is not a
Okay.
good way to start a conversation.
Travis, check your DMs. I literally just gave you a 5 spot on the September 13th show.
Ooh.
That is putting some big old Jewish balls right in in that face of yours.
Oh my!
Now he's going to want to talk about the Loop Trolley deal for the next 20 minutes.
Not
Somebody's
at
got some
all.
matzah.
No, not at all.
Uh-huh.
Look,
Here we go.
in New York,
He just gave himself runway. He said, look, and took a deep breath. He goes, do you want to talk about yourself in the third person?
no, not at
Do
all.
you need
I'm just
Do
saying.
you need a hey man?
No, we
to
got-
buy
it does
yourself more
remind me-
time?
Hey,
We've
man.
got Doyle Murphy from the Riverfront Times coming up. I'm sure he can sit here. We can just watch you. Go.
Hey, man, in New York, people would get on the train and they would do their routine, and I would find that very amusing. So now to have the
Breaking
opportunity
news.
to do that would be very, very cool.
Travis Terrell has been given a 5-minute spot on what could be the most unique, very cool comedy show to hit the city in I don't know how long.
This is going to be bad. It's going to be very, very
You feel like
bad.
you're Sammy Davis Jr. now?
You know, maybe I'll do a little Sammy Davis Jr. on the
Do you do an impression?
Maybe I'll do
Go ahead.
an impression. Boing, boing, boing.
I don't have one. You talk out the side of your mouth, right? That's
Hello,
how it goes.
baby. Hello, baby. Did Sammy Davis used to say that a lot? Hello, baby. I don't know.
I don't know if he said hello.
Hey, I'm
Who played him
black
in
and
SNL?
Jewish.
Tim Meadows?
I know Don Cheadle played him in the movie.
Yeah.
It was a Rat Pack film, and Don Cheadle played.
Was that the one on HBO?
That was, and Ray Liotta
With Ray
was
Liotta?
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I remember that one. Because I remember I remember them walking out of their bedrooms from the night after, and they had some women in there with them, and
Oh, did they?
one of them says to the other, "How's your bird, Frank?" And he goes, "The bird has flown." And I just remember that line for some reason.
You
But
wanna tell-
Sammy,
you want to tell us some more about that?
yeah, I could go on. I've seen
I
the movie
believe
a
it.
number of times.
I believe it.
Let's see, Candyman. Can you do Candyman? Who can take a sunshine?
I can't. Oh, that's pretty good, though.
Sprinkle it with dew.
See, Sammy Davis, Sammy Davis was out there. I think it was Eddie Murphy recently. I think didn't he talk about Sammy Davis
Can't
on
remember.
the Comedians in Cars? I think
Yeah.
he had a story about Sammy Davis and how incredibly dark Sammy was, and that when he had a conversation, he was talking about Satan.
Yeah.
Which I thought, by the way,
So there's Sammy off mic, and then it's the Candyman can.
also in that episode, did Eddie Murphy not just illustrate why so many people want to sit down and talk to him and just hear him talk about things? Because Eddie Murphy has seen it all. Like, Eddie Murphy was the biggest thing in the 80s, and so therefore he had access to everything in the 80s. So I think the reason why people want to sit down with Eddie Murphy or see more of Eddie Murphy is that,
Will he be on the Loop Trolley for the show?
man, you put Eddie Murphy on the Loop Trolley. That's a badass show. Travis Terrell, Eddie Murphy,
Here,
Yale Hollander.
back to Travis's camera, so we can just hear about Travis.
Guys, I am, as many of you know, an international
Screenwriter? Okay.
renowned comedian, satirist,
Modern day Mark Twain.
I would say, I wouldn't say I'm a podcast expert, but I would
I wouldn't
say
either. I certainly
say,
wouldn't either.
Oh. But
Media
yeah,
personality?
I think, look, I wear all these hats. Is it difficult? Of course. Have I risen to the occasion? Obviously.
Not once.
Am I slowly becoming the star that I thought I would? Absolutely. And is it tough being me? Sure.
Not really. It's kind of a cush life.
So, but yeah, I try to make it happen, and I hope to see you guys September 13th on the Loop Trolley. Laugh Tracks, starring Travis Terrell.
Not
I mean, yeah.
starring you. Yale put it on.
Yeah, Hollander.
Yale put it on.
My bad.
And he
Whoopsie.
just charitably gave you spot.
I'm sorry.
What a
that
joke.
slipped out. Presented by We Are Live.
Oh,
Now,
goodness.
is that
I don't
better?
think that's how that
Oh,
works
okay,
either. I don't
all
think
right.
it is presented by We Are Live. Doyle Murphy
Woo!
is in studio. We've got the RFT's new boss, right? Is that what's happening here? Doyle, good to see you, first of all.
Thanks for having me on.
Treat that mic like it's Travis.
Right.
Get right up.
Hey.
Get up there. Doyle, new job. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Interim editor, or has that been made anything else?
No, interim editor.
He's like, actually, they let me go this morning.
Yeah,
Thanks for
it's-
bringing it up.
Appreciate that, Doug.
I haven't been in the office today, so we'll see.
Oh well, after this and
Yeah.
what Travis says,
Yeah,
you never
it's-
know.
It's gonna be good.
So huge congratulations! That's a big deal. Sarah Fensky moves over to NPR. That left a spot open.
Right, to St. Louis Public Radio.
Okay, got it.
Uh,
St. Louis Public Radio.
Yeah, she got a really nice offer over there, so we were sad to see her go, but
Not that sad. Get Doyle in there. No, that's huge. As far
So
as
you're like the new Mike Schilt. Like, you got the interim tag. You
Right.
got to go on a run here. How you feeling? Do you feel the pressure?
yeah.
Doyle, I texted him.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, Doyle.
yeah, I mean, we could pretty much crash and burn at any time, but yeah. But no, actually, we've got like enough people that actually know what they're doing,
Right.
like around there that are kind of like, maybe you should try this. And I'm
Okay.
like, Oh yeah, that is a good idea. We should. That will probably keep us putting a paper out. So
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Does moving to the editor role of a popular paper, and you guys have tons of events, from what you were doing before to now, scary or just super super busy?
it is like super busy now. Like there are like a couple days of the week that is like I pretty much don't see 2 feet in front of my face because I'm just like in there. Hopefully that will ease up a little bit here
Yeah.
when we get back to like when we backfill my spot and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's one of those like I've been a reporter for like 15 years. And so you work for a lot of editors and you kind of have like a general sense of what they do, but not really.
Right.
It's kind of like you're kind of like willfully ignorant on it, and you're like, that's somebody else's problem. You should probably talk to my boss about that. You know?
Now you're.
Now I don't get to do that.
Yeah.
Now you're that
It's
guy.
removed one of my favorite excuses.
What are some of the challenges that comes with a transition like this? A lot of newspapers go through these types of transitions. So what are some of the challenges that you've experienced so far?
I mean, we have a small staff, so it's a lot of it's really like picking your battles on set. Like, I would rather us write, one story that a lot of people are going to read and make a big impact,
All right.
rather than try to do like 10 things that aren't really, nobody really cares about.
Right.
I mean, I think a lot of like papers just try to like be everything to everyone, and it's just kind of a recipe for disaster for a paper like us that just I think we can seem a lot bigger than we are because we are able to like really kind of hit stories in a hard way.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot of just kind of balancing where your resources are going to go.
Where would you like to see the brand go? RFT.
To the Loop Trolley on September
That'd
13th.
be very nice.
Yeah.
Get your name in the paper.
Chris, I don't do this for the publicity. I just do it to reach the people.
Okay, great.
But what about the brand? RFT. Look, you guys have an amazing following, at least from what I can tell online. I love what you guys do with your Twitter handle and how you truly connect with a younger audience. But what would you like to see the brand be now under your leadership?
I think we're gonna rebrand as like a dirt track racing quarterly.
It's about damn time.
You
It's
finally
about
took
damn-
my suggestion.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Can I
Let's
get
get
some
it.
credit? Oh my god!
How great would that be? We just looked up one.
Be amazing.
Doyle really ran with it. Good God.
Couldn't be happier.
Just came in real quiet on it, and then just one day, just motocross on the front page.
You been down to that Barnhart track? Shit's cool, man.
You laugh now, but then all of a sudden subscriptions go through the roof.
Yeah,
That's the sad. It probably would be.
yeah. That would be an
There's a
audience
huge audience for it, actually.
that would purchase a physical paper, right?
And if they throw in some professional wrestling in the back end of that
Oh,
bad
yeah.
boy, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's the back page for sure. I don't know.
Wow! I can't wait for this new Riverfront
Now, if
dirt track racing quarter. Go ahead.
Have,
Trav.
no, I'm curious. Have you guys thought about maybe a visual podcast to perhaps present some of your stories, go into more detail? Maybe you need a studio, a place to go where your reporters can come and talk
What's
more
the
in-depthly
website
about-
they would go to?
They would go to midcoastmedia.espn.go.
Nope.
It's
It's not the website.
It's not our
What studio are we in right now?
We are currently in Midwest Tech
Nope. It's not.
Art Gallery
I think-
Studios.
I think Nelly got that shut down.
by Kranzbergers.
Who?
The Kranzbergers.
That's a cartoon
I
on Cartoon Network.
Doyle, I've been in New York.
He's always back to New York.
I've
Okay.
been in New York the
Yeah.
last few months.
Yeah.
I have. A lot has changed around here. I don't know what things are
Did you
called.
see Doyle and I are shopping at the same stores?
I wore my Chris Denman shirt today just for the occasion.
For the Dirt Track Quarterly announcement.
The
Thank
Chris
you.
Denman collection at Nordstrom's Rack. Let's be sure to check that out this weekend.
Doyle had to go to the special one because they were like, all we've got's the fat sizes.
This big boy from the South Side keeps showing up every other Friday.
Well, yes, you look handsome in that shirt, and
Thanks.
and I
As do you.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
thank you.
it's
Oh
good
my
luck,
God,
yeah.
thank you. That's beautiful.
So ask him about what Coen Brothers story are you currently covering right now for the
Oh my
Riverfront Times?
God! Do you realize we started having Doyle on literally every year since we've had this? We've had Doyle on with the radio, right? That was
Yeah.
that? Yeah. the first time we had you on was talking about it's not so funny now.
Yeah, because it was a
So it turned out the FBI was right, but it was
Very right. Very correct.
Pizza Dojo. Awesome. I'm so pissed we can't use that idea now. The guy had a dojo in an old church / pizza place, and they wore the gis, and
Can we
turns out
say-
he was touching those kids.
Yeah, I'm about to say, can we say
Horrible.
technically the alt-right got that one right? It was just the wrong city and the wrong person.
Oh,
Because
pizza.
the pizza pedophile thing.
Is that
was,
even alt-right?
I don't know who it was, but I feel like they
Yeah.
just missed their target. They
Got
just
it.
they aimed at the wrong city and
Well.
the wrong presidential candidate.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
we
remember
talked to Doyle.
I did get like a lot of emails from people that were like wondering how that was tied into the
What?
the grander conspiracy
Oh, you're serious?
of
Mercy.
I was like, well, this one is real.
This happened.
So there's some differences.
Small difference.
You know,
This took place.
That was exactly how you said it, too. This is real. An
Cut that
update
off.
from Yale. One of your fellows, Daniel Hill, is already on the Laugh Tracks story for the Loop Trolley
Oh,
comedy
nice.
show. Yeah. Did you authorize that?
let kind of Daniel Hill do what Daniel Hill wants to do.
Yeah. Now
he's
we're talking.
yeah, he's one of those people that like, it's like, well, we should maybe try this, and I'm like, that's a better idea than I had. So
a lot of things drive,
I like anyone who reached out to me. So I'm like, oh yeah, Daniel Hill. He did a story about that Lou Fest comedy thing. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool because he wrote about us.
I think, and I'm not putting my name in the hat, but there are people I believe
Would
in
you
this
shut
realm
the
who would like to. I'm just serious. If you're what drives traffic, of course, is solid content, and generally you need a columnist sometimes to maybe come in and kind of reinvigorate the paper. Are you looking to bring on any new columnists? Maybe people who have particular backgrounds, say in screenwriting or television.
Where were you a screenwriter
No,
in television?
Well, I was one with a small company named Sesame Street. So I don't know if you want somebody with extensive background
Which episodes?
to discuss several. It's not, and Chris, it's not about taking credit for episodes.
Oh,
Again, if you
I'm a
understand,
selfish person.
It's one thing you need
have
to learn about the
understand that.
industry is that the industry is about sharing and giving credit to everyone.
Can you confirm that, Doyle?
I have been watching a lot of Sesame Street now that I have a toddler.
You're a youngster,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I'm
You're
kinda
welcome.
getting into it.
It's going to be woke.
Yeah.
You're going to have a woke youngster.
I'm gonna tell him like, I was just with the guy. The guy.
That was
who
me.
did
He's like,
this. It's
Big Bird,
Yeah, when
Elmo.
that episode with Cookie Monster wearing the wave cap. That was me. You're welcome, everybody.
So, did you want to finish your pitch?
No, I would just, if you're looking for new columnists, I think that's maybe the way to go is to try to find a young millennial voice
Young.
that truly connects and has
Young.
the pulse of the community.
You're halfway to 36, bro.
Man, I could still be a left-handed pitcher in Major League Baseball.
LaTroy Hawkins, everybody.
Yes.
it's gonna probably have to be a knuckleball at this point. I'm gonna save the off-speed stuff. Yeah.
So the business side of the new position is it strictly content and the paper, or do you have to deal with business, pulling salespeople in on certain things? Do you have to deal with the events? What does being an editor mean at the RFT in 2019?
No, we do keep like a pretty hard wall between between
That could get
sales and-
weird, right? All these
Yeah,
these things keep popping up like puff pieces on Ted Drew's and stuff. It's like, well, they've obviously
Right.
just bought a bunch of advertising.
Yeah, and it's tricky. Because I think a lot of people don't really understand. Like, well, why? I bought an ad. Why can't I get story for that? And it's like, what? We gave you the ad. Like, that was
the
our
agreement.
This
service,
isn't North Korea.
This is what you paid for. This is what we gave you. That does not include a whole.
What a
us to,
conversation
write a
that
note.
is.
It's always a fun one too if you have someone approach you like in what we do, where they're like, well, we have like the owner come on, like do an interview, and I'm like, would you listen to you for more than 2.5 minutes? I wouldn't. It's like, it is super interesting that you sell those couches, but I don't know that that's what the audience is looking for. So there's kind of a version for that in the paper, I'm sure.
Yeah, you just have to have like that kind of wall.
Barrier,
Otherwise,
yeah.
otherwise, like, why would anybody actually like believe what you're saying if there's a
You're on
good
the take.
possibility that it's just been somebody's paid for it.
Right.
Doctored by somebody's copywriter. We
Right.
do have Steve in Iowa chiming in. In Iowa, they're making Sesame Street characters out of butter for the state fair.
You're welcome.
Travis, was this what you were working on in New York?
Spent a lot of time on that
Wow.
project, and I'm pretty proud of it.
You could tell the ones he worked on, just a bunch of hot sauce in it. Perfect.
Son of a bitch.
In regards to the position, getting that interim tag knocked off, do you know, did they tell you that, or is it just they just tell you to get to work and we'll address it when the time comes?
No, it's. I mean, the way it was explained to me is that
I love Doyle. So
that I can kind of figure it out. Like if
it's for
we
you.
can kind of make it as long or as short as we want. But being that I've never done this job before,
Right.
I was kind of like not quite sure if that's what I want. What I wanted to do, because I had always liked being just a reporter.
Yeah.
That's what I got in the business to do, and what I've always enjoyed doing. I've kind of like almost purposely avoided any kind of like learning management stuff, because I'm like, I don't know.
Keep this responsibility
You-
away from me.
You can't put me in that because I don't know
Right.
what I'm doing. But then they did, and so
And here we are.
So-
I'm on a podcast on a Thursday.
I will say, even
I
while
can't
I
believe
was
you
gone,
didn't pull the black card, by the way.
I don't.
You
use-
could've-
I don't ever use
you
race
could've
on the
s- you
show.
could-
That's silly.
Right.
That's really dumb.
You could have said they need more diversity on their staff.
No, I think the Riverfront Times, I think you can see the diversity in their coverage. I think that's one thing why they have been very successful, and they've been able to
Gardner, where's he going
maintain
with
a
this?
following with many
never
of the
just a
audiences.
compliment.
No, it is. I think they do a very good job in regards to their coverage. I think they're a blind spot, certainly,
Careful, Doyle.
created by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and I think the Riverfront Times does a great job at getting to those spots that generally don't get covered. And honestly, I'm quick to go to their paper first before I go to STL Today. No disrespect to my good peoples over at the Post-Dispatch, but a lot
Roger
of times,
Hensley tweeting at you again.
yeah, man, he's gonna get on me for those damn making fun of them for those slideshows. Man,
Are you aware of this, Doyle?
I made fun of my friend Ben Fredrickson, who, of course, sports columnist for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I made fun of him for putting up a bunch of
funniest thing I've ever
slides,
seen in my
just
life.
being funny. Put it in the comments. I never even comment on stories. That's why I did it, because it was like I never comment on these things. This is funny.
Said
And
call him
then
a slideshow reporter.
yeah, I made fun of his slideshow, and boy, oh boy.
then it gets personal.
Did the higher ups at St. Louis Post-Dispatch pounce? They pounce.
Now, would you do that for one of your reporters if
Oh,
Travis
that's a good
attacks
point.
them?
Yeah,
in
you know, I'm gonna test it.
in
No,
a-
Chris, don't warn him. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna sneak into somebody's story.
Daniel
and
Hill,
see
you,
if he
you put up
slips
too
in.
many pictures of that Loop Trolley comedy show. Travis is going to get on your
Yeah,
ass.
that's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll get that ass. But now, but the fun thing about St. Louis is that there's always plenty of content, and I believe tomorrow is the sentencing hearing for one Steve Stenger.
Yes.
Are you guys sending someone, and how has it been trying to cover that story? Because it has been one hell of a ride.
Yeah, it's been kind of tricky now, since that was something that like I probably would have covered myself. But so you got to kind of like figure out where you're gonna send people. But yeah, it's been. I mean, that whole story's just been. It's just like every like little like new drop that comes out is like, I mean, ultimately like pretty depressing, but
Yes.
also kind of hilarious.
Yes, yes, I concur on
I
both.
mean, well, I love to see somebody get like a good comeuppance. on it,
Yes.
you know, it's like,
Yes, I totally. Especially when he said, and I quote, "I don't do shit here." Like, it's kind of hard to. I know they had the recommendation the other day, and I think they wanted the minimum. But when a guy
read this,
reads
please.
this, and I'm going to read it in full. How about that, motherfuckers? I don't show up to the council meetings. I don't do fucking shit. I've been sitting at my house for the past two months, fucking raising money, and then won by 20%. The world's a fucked up place. Like, how can you not tomorrow morning, outside the courthouse, root for this guy to go to jail for at least the rest of his life?
They're going.
What?
No, it's three.
Is that too
Yeah,
excessive?
yeah,
they
that's-
asked for
that's
3
not
years.
even
He's
possible.
probably
That's not
gonna-
possible.
Not
That's
even
That's not on the table.
No.
The max is 4, I think,
Oh.
and his lawyer's trying to get him 3.
Maybe, you know what?
And
Here's-
it's probably Nintendo 64 prison. Like he's probably hanging.
But
out
let's
playing
have
video
real
games.
justice. Let's suggest that Steve Stenger resisted arrest and add a few more years to that, because it's that easy, right?
I don't. Well,
Just say he put up a fight, and we
Maybe
could
it's-
add resisting
maybe
arrest to it.
I
Jermaine-
asked-
Jermaine Stinger.
I
did
asked
that.
Chris
Very true.
Davis the other day to find out the one piece of information I want to know that hasn't been leaked yet.
You gotta show
And
Doyle
if
your
Doyle,
t-shirt.
if,
Don't forget
if
this,
you
by the
guys
way.
can maybe help out too. I just want to get as many people in the know as possible.
Be careful. Gardner will try and manipulate your coverage.
Well, no,
as
it's
He
just-
has many agendas.
It wasn't in the sentencing memo, but it was in the letter that was signed by all the county council members, just about what Stinger was doing and all that stuff. And one of them said, "Oh, he would just come in and play video games," but it wasn't reported
As to
or
what?
mentioned as to what video games he was
yeah.
playing. I am curious to know what those games are. Actually,
Your little promotion cost us the most interesting part of the story, Doyle.
Yeah, so
I feel like
think-
you would have known that.
like, is it Candy Crush? Is it Minesweeper? Is it something on
the audi-
PlayStation
your-
or something?
Your
Is it
readers
going
want to
old
know.
school
Kinda like that
Nintendo?
idea, actually.
Yeah.
Are we the, hey, maybe try this?
Yeah.
Maybe we can
I,
yell that.
I think that's, to me at least, a weird, interesting angle to. I just want to know.
Well, it
I
lead
just want
to
to
a
know
lot
what he
more.
was playing.
Then you find out he's making racist comments under Smoke Boy
He's doing gamer stuff,
42069
So-
in a gaming room chat room.
And so let me get this straight. And so, like, we've been wondering what
would
questions
be
to yell
smoking
at
fire.
people when they come out of the courtroom. And Steve,
that's always
is
been
this-
my thing.
So should we have someone there yelling that question? There's
What
a
video
likelihood.
games are you playing?
Yes.
It's the
He might
walk.
answer
It's the
that.
courthouse walk
Yes.
when you're yelling
Perp walk.
questions and you know no one's going to answer. So everyone asks the questions they want answered. I've always said you ask the questions that would just throw them off, just so you can get a little weird reaction.
Can we get an
Like,
can we get an
like
RFQ
as
press
he's walking
pass?
away, and the example I always is a hot dog a sandwich?
It is.
And then like just look at like Rosenblum's like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
So just that's the information I would like to know.
The federal courthouse is actually like really good for this because the parking is really terrible around there. So you might end up, they might end up being parked like if somebody doesn't come pick you up, which is what happened to Stinger like the first time. They parked like across the street, so it's just this long walk of you, of everyone just like just cameras in your face, bang, 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 and just people like asking you questions, just like walking along. They're just, I mean, that's a long walk just to be like.
You do have to watch out for there's areas where there are small trees in front of there. Because I remember, and I've told before, I was working at a broadcast water service at the time, and I was covering Floyd Iron's sentencing.
Former Vashon head coach.
And we were all following him, but he had a group that his entourage around him, and they pulled an SUV up to pick him up in front, but they're trying to get there, and they kind of maneuvered where they were going, and I ended up whoa, in like a tree, or in the mulch and everything. Because the
Now-
guy like basically shoved me into it.
Maybe Steve Stinger needs a mode of transportation, and we can get him a customized golf cart from Getaway Cards. That's
Oh.
right. GetawayCards.com is the website. Local
Getaway
business.
is perfect for
They
this.
support us, and I don't think they would support being involved with Steve Stinger. But it's
Need a ride from the courthouse to the parking lot?
too perfect not to do a read. That's right. Getaway Cards. Go say hey to Joe and the gang over in the Benton Park, Cherokee Street area. That's right. GetawayCards.com is the website. You can get customized golf carts to take you out of the courthouse or around neighborhoods in St. Louis.
I would actually love to see somebody like kind of shorten their perp walk by getting into a golf cart and
Yeah.
just slowly driving away.
Yes.
I
That
bought
was
this with taxpayer money!
leisurely, just pulling off.
You're like, well, there he goes. We'll just walk
What if he just
slowly behind you. And
What if he just hops on a Lime scooter? Would the
That would
Lime
be my
people
next
appreciate
question.
that? Would the Bird people like that if
Gardner's
Stanger
are-
on his way to the
Well,
pen?
the new birds, the bird ones, which they've
Okay,
dropped
Gardner
in
has
St. Louis,
has a sick
are
obsession
sturdy.
with scooters, by the way.
Steve, do you want the scooter? It's quicker to your car.
He doesn't want to spin. The bird ones get up to 24. It's just a slight decline now. So those are the ones you want.
If it works perfectly for St. Louis politics. This is a
Yeah.
great way to he should just go, fire Mo, go Blues, we went blue, and then he'll be able to run for mayor and as soon as he's released from prison.
Upcoming stories that we need to keep an eye out are upcoming events or anything for RFT. 'cause,
Well,
sorry,
Tomorrow
go ahead.
there's an anniversary tomorrow too, with Michael Brown and Ferguson, and that 5 years tomorrow. And I have favorited it, but I haven't read it yet. But Danny Wistentowski wrote a story it looks very intriguing.
that's a really great story, and it's just kind of like one I don't think you're going to see anywhere. But it's really this fascinating with a guy that had been a protester and ended up in this like bombing plot. But it was basically like kind of you would see a lot of these like FBI stings that it's like basically they've supplied like everything that this person would need to be, and they just need somebody to do it. And so Danny went back and talked to this guy who's now doing federal prison time about like how he got kind of swept up in this, what was going on in his life then. I mean, part of the sting was that a family friend was like a confidential informant for the FBI that he didn't know about, and this guy ends up helping him out like in a kind of a low point in his life, and he ends up part of this sting, and obviously like at some point you have to do something to like make this work. And so he legitimately like went and like tried to buy what he thought were pipe bombs, but were fake bombs from FBI. He says that he wasn't going to use it. I mean, we'll never know, thankfully. But now he's doing federal time on it, and
Some kind of terror charges or something, probably.
yeah,
right?
I mean, it's one of those like they had him like buy guns first, and it's kind of one of those like, all right, well now you got him on federal weapons charges, but it kind of you could tell it like that's not really what they wanted. They wanted to like foil a bomb plot.
So like in my head, like, okay, number one, don't be somebody that buys illegal guns and
Right.
bombs. Okay. Second, kind of gross, right? Thinking about that.
Yeah,
Like
would
that's-
this guy have tried to do it on his own? I don't think so. There's
Yeah.
no evidence that this guy was actually going to like try to like.
That's a big step.
Yeah, I mean, he was he like had gotten into like some weird conspiracy theory stuff. He was part of like New Black Panthers, and he was had adopted this ideology of Aboriginal more, which is kind of a sovereign citizen thing where you think that like I don't have to abide by a lot of the rules of the government. Like he printed out his own like ID and stuff that's instead of like a driver's license. It was
How
getting
old
into
was
like
he?
weird stuff. He's 20 now, I think.
He's 20 now,
No, he was 20 then, I think.
but
I could be wrong.
Well,
if,
we'll have to read the story.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal too.
Yeah, he was a pretty talented guy, but had gotten like way off in the weeds on stuff, and which kind of isolated him from his family. Everyone's like, "This is weird stuff you're talking about. Like,
Right.
you need to get your head right and stuff."
Mhm.
So he's in this space where he's like completely isolated. Nobody really wants to listen to him, except these two new friends who are like, "Oh yeah, man, we're with you on a lot of this stuff," and like start kind of like pumping him up. And these are the guys that one of them that he's known forever, and another one that is somebody that he meets in the protests. And these guys are like, you know what, we would really like to get some guns. Can you get some guns for us? And like start like working with him on all this stuff. But it's not really stuff that there was evidence that he was actually doing before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's not like, somebody was selling drugs and you went and bought drugs from them like as a confidential informant. It's like, here's somebody that was like, seems kind of vulnerable, kind of like suggestible, and you start like giving him ideas about things to do, and then you're like, we know somebody that can like get
I
you a
see.
bomb.
Mhm.
And so they start, they supply like this bomb maker and set it up for him to like go, buy these bombs, pick him up, drive him over there, because like the guy doesn't have a car. It's not like he can even get over there.
Oh, wow.
He didn't even have a car.
And yeah, it ends up here like, did this really make us safer?
Yeah, right.
I think, and like the argument is like, well, this guy was clearly capable of doing something. The evidence is that he went over there and did do this. So, lucky us, we stopped this guy. It's like, but would he have ever done it without somebody
Right.
kind of prodding him along?
And
I
also,
don't
my
think so.
question would be in regards to the purchasing of the guns. What if they, instead of being able to charge that individual right there and purchasing the illegal guns, he were to take those illegal guns and act on them,
Do something
and
with
do
them?
something with
Yeah.
it, which most people do sometimes when they get those. Would they have been culpable had he gone out and done something with those guns instead of them, perhaps bringing him in on those charges and trying to maybe string him along more for additional federal charges?
Right. It's one of those things where you have, on the one hand, I would say that this guy is super dangerous.
Right.
We got to get him off the streets. And like, well, if he was super dangerous,
Why
and you could have taken him off the streets.
Exactly.
Why didn't you take him off the streets?
Right.
You know, it wasn't like you were like busting down some larger organization or
Right.
something that you needed him to like get to somebody
right,
else.
Right. It wasn't a bigger fish above
just-
him. It was just
It's
this
just
guy.
this dude and a friend of his.
Wow.
So they're both those guys are doing.
And that's
better
and that
than
story
them.
we can read now. or
Yeah,
is it
that's
just-
online now.
Okay.
It's in the paper now. But yeah, Danny did a really great job.
Okay.
Get into a lot of the kind of the weird details of this and the just the different conflicts in it.
Excellent. Again, great reporting at the RFT. Another thing we wouldn't have probably gotten at the Post. That's putting it out there.
Wait.
I'm just saying. I'm just look.
Yeah,
man,
I
just,
bet the American's not covering it either.
I think they probably. I wouldn't go that far, Chris. Let's
St.
slow-
Louis Magazine on it?
Let's slow down now.
Huh?
Let's-
Sauce? Where you at?
Well, the sauce covers everything.
Literally?
Literally.
Sauce.
It ain't on the side.
Doyle, people can follow you online at Doyle Murphy on Twitter. Anything else we need to know about before we get you out of here?
I don't think so. We're just gonna get back to work here.
Need a
I guess, and,
babysitter or anything? You
Not-
good?
no.
Need a weekend off? I can watch some kids, man.
I don't like this. You
Okay.
can ask him for a reporter job. Don't mess with this kid.
Okay.
Let's not make this weird.
Doyle, again, I want to congratulate you on your fashion
Congratulations.
choice first.
Yes. On the choice
The
of
job
shirts.
second.
now that I've got this job, I can start wearing Denman.
The Denman
Denman
collection.
line.
Dress like a
Yeah.
mogul. Yes.
Perfect.
That's a management shirt if I've ever seen.
Oh,
Indeed.
boy, isn't it? Again, follow Doyle on Twitter. And thanks again for coming in, man. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break. It's We Are Live. We're live at Midcoast Studio in Grand Center. We'll be right back.